Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our newsroom. We will start our news tonight with the main titles. Were vaccinated against the COVID 19. Also, on national events, the head of state sponsored the graduation ceremony of the first ISIS bachelor students. On continental news, in Brazil, impose a curfew and suspends football to contain COVID 19. Welcome if you join us. As I mentioned, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, and the First Lady, the President of the National Union of Djiboutian Women, Mrs. Khadra Mahmoud Haid, were vaccinated this Monday against the disease of COVID 19. The presidential couple received this treatment following the ceremony under the aegis of the head of state to launch the national anti-COVID vaccination program in Djibouti, organized in a tent set up within the esplanade of the Palace of People. This launching ceremony for the national anti-COVID vaccination program served as an exhibition stand for the healthcare services chain linked to the vaccination process. The President of the Republic incurred first about the integrated protocol for the management of the national vaccination program, ranking from a medical interview to a pharmaceutical vigilance watch, including the administrations of the vaccine through the fact that he was vaccinated first. The President Guelleh carries a message of encouragement to his compatriots and urged them to do the same. Note that members of the government and health personnel have started to vaccinate also today. The president after that officially launched the vaccination campaign against COVID-19, accompanied by the First Lady, Mrs. Khadra Mahmoud Haid. The president, after he was vaccinations against the COVID-19, he launched officially in Djibouti the vaccinations campaign against the COVID diseases. Many members of the government also were vaccinated against the COVID during that events today. After that, a member of the government, as the Minister of Foreign Affairs and spokesperson of the government, also were vaccinated, was vaccinated during the events, as well as many other member of the government who took the chance to take advantage from the vaccinations against COVID-19. After that, in a short speech, the Minister of Health explained the importance and the necessity of this campaign to combat the COVID-19 in the country. And he said that they have launched today in the country a vaccination campaign against the emerging coronavirus. He added that the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, and the First Lady of Djibouti, Mrs. Khadra Mahmoud Haid, honor them with launching this large-scale campaign and thank them for that. Mr. Mohammed Warsame and indicated that the ministry had planned this campaign with the support of the President of the Republic and added that the President of the Republic had established a committee concerned with the implementations of this campaign, and this committee provided clear information and data about the vaccine. He confirmed that the government has provided a sufficient quantity of vaccine to fight the coronavirus pandemic and have decided to vaccinate about 70% of the populations of Djibouti. On the 18th of March, we will get about 300,000 other doses of vaccine, and in April, we will get 200,000 vaccine, he concluded. After receiving the vaccination against COVID-19, the President of the Republic's Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh made a statement to the media expressing the importance of these vaccinations for everyone. That today we are gathered here to announce and launch the national campaign for the vaccination against the coronavirus for the entire national territory. He hopes that all measures have been taken and are being implemented by the committee concerned with the combating COVID-19 in our country, which is tasked with carrying out this campaign devoted to combating coronavirus. He hopes that these activities of this campaign will proceed in the best conditions with the best organizations and in appropriate atmosphere to protect our society from the seriousness of this pandemic and to preserve the health of our dear citizens. After that, the President of the Republic's Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, accompanied by the First Lady and the President of the National Union of Djibouti, Mrs. Khadra Mahmoud Haid, honored with their presence the graduation ceremony of the first graduating class of the Higher Institute of Science and Health, known as the ISS, at the People's Palace, a day of glory. This event marks a highlight in the life of many students, a stage rich in samples and that grounds efforts and hopes those kicking off a professional life rich in promises. The President, still accompanied by the First Lady, was received by the Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, as well as the Director of ISS, Mrs. Nadira Abdullah Yahya, and the Director of the Regional Institute for Health and Social Training of Saint Etienne, Mr. Mohammed Abdirahman.
Lagamaalay dama chidiyabo dil kuda ku wadaga oo darga chidiyabo derga way darga chidiyabo ashi dutinaysay daksay orodooday intay dogor saartay dhankay la aroortay lagamaalay dama chidiyabo dil kuda ku wadaga oo darga chidiyabo derga way darga chidiyabo abal nindikta waya darari masha mashaariicda dhiman dhaqangelintooda ayaa kugu dheere maxaad dhaxal reebtay dhankaadu wadaadhi doogle lahaydo dhismaha bilicda la dhaygagayaaye jabuuti dhigeen wata wada dhaaftay wata wada dhaaftay wata wada dhaaftay wata wada dhaaftay abaal nin dhigtaa u aaya dharaare mashaariicda dhiman dhaqangelintooda ayaa kugu dheere maxaad dhaxal reebtay dhankaadu wadaadhi doogle lahaydo dhismaha bilicda.
In turn, the President and the First Lady turned the both made up by the latest delivery equipment, but also the first aid that midwives provided to newborns. Once in the auditorium, the President and the First Lady both received standing ovations, while the students dressed in their gowns and their caps. These rooms at its height gathered in addition to the laureate, member of the government, parliamentarians, and plethora of university students, anonymous personalities, many parents, and senior officials of the administrations. The program of the day was marked by a short films, animation, testimonies, tributes, all in a festive atmosphere. This promotion, which obtains its bachelor's degree, is made up of civil sector, which include midwives, nurses, laboratory technicians, social workers, nurse, anesthetists, and finally ambulance drivers. Indeed, all these young people, fresh out of the Higher Institute of Health Science, will be able to meet the development needs of the national health system. These promotions from the Higher Institute of Health Science illustrated the proactive policy of the state of its high level to place the consultations of human capital, which is one of the pillars of Djibouti 2035 vision. In a speech made by the director of Higher Institute of Health Science, Mrs. Nadira Abdullah Yahya expressed her satisfactions at the graduations of the first batch of nurses and midwives. She thanks the professor and the partner for their signful visions that lead to the success of these students. She said that the graduations of these students from the Higher Institute of Health Science contributed to the development of human capital, which is one of the pillars of Djibouti's 2035 visions. In his turn, the director of Regional Institute for Health and Medical Training indicated that he has beneficiated from the educational structure of the country. He added that he started his career in Djibouti in the year 1990 as a coordinator in the first local organization operating in Djibouti, known as that time the National Society for Economic and Social Development, of which the President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, was a member. He added that he continued his professional career in France and held various positions, and now he is a director at an international European institute concerned with training workers in the field of health and social medicine. Of his part, the Minister of Higher Education and Research, Dr. Nabil Mohammed congratulated the three batches of graduated uh, of the Higher Institute of Health Science and urged them to continue their efforts. He then thanks the President of the Republic for his presence and leadership. He said that the President of the Republic has increased the quality of higher education of youth of the country in the last year. We can see today the result of promoting and improving the quality of knowledge of the youth, he added. In a speech made by the President of the Republic's Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh on the occasion of the graduation of the three batch from the Faculty of Medicine at the National Institute of Health Science, he explained the importance of this event.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Mesdames et messieurs, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to be here today not only to celebrate with you the very first class of graduates of the Higher Institute of Health Science, but above all to highlight the absolutely central role that you play in our society. Dear laureates, the profession in which we have engaged is one of the most noble in the world. Diplomas in hand, you are the men and women who have chosen to dedicate your lives to saving the lives of others. Accompany them, care for them, advise them, and perform acts of generosity and altruism for your patients. Health professionals know this very well. It is a tiring, demanding, but so rewarding job. Ladies and gentlemen, our healthcare system is facing major challenges. It is, in fact, confronted with multiple changes, both internal and external, which force us to reflect on its evolution, push us to give it new perspectives, in short, to innovative in order to better train. It is with this in mind that we are now going to establish bridges that will allow you, dear laureates, to continue your studies in master's and doctorate programs. This approach has a double objective. It will allow you not only to strengthen your skills and consolidate your professional practice, but also to break with the only perspective of linear careers in order to be able to orient yourself later on towards the programs of your choice. The need is there, do not doubt it, because you have real opportunities in the private sector, with the number of clinics in growth, as in the public sector with the growing number of hospitals and hospital structures.
In the second part of the president's speech, in which His Excellency praised the efforts of the Minister of Higher Education in the field of promoting the Higher Institute for Health Science.
Par simulation.
Moreover, the University Hospital Center, which will be operational in 18 months, will offer real opportunities to evolve in an innovative framework, to acquire new skills, and to progress in a medical environment at the cutting edge of technology. Ladies and gentlemen, there is reason to be satisfied with the evolution of the Higher Institute of Health Science, which in a few years has achieved significant performance. It has in fact gone from a professional school to a university structure worthy of the name. The ISSS is today a real institution of higher education, with high-performance equipment and projects that place its students at the heart of academic and practical knowledge, while familiarizing them with the use of technology and digital technology in the various fields of health. The simulation-based training, which we welcome, is a telling example and unique in the region. Moreover, the investment we have made in the Faculty of Medicine in the ISSS by deciding to train our doctors and paramedics in Djibouti is a reward for the efforts made, because our students of yesterday are the health workers of today and the professors and researchers of tomorrow. They were in the front line to fight one of the worst pandemics we have known in recent years, that is, the COVID-19. We will therefore continue to invest as we should in training with the objective of excellence in our higher education structures, a driver of change and a barrier of the future, because we are convinced that a country that does not invest in its higher education and research system is a country without a future, especially in a world where technological and digital advances have become both sources of wealth and superiority. I salute here the commitment of the Ministry of Higher Education for its successful strategies of reform and the permanent search for winning international partnerships. I would also like to pay tribute to the health faculty for their considerable contribution to our national health system, for their dedication and selflessness. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, this ceremony is also the launch of the vaccination campaign against COVID-19. In this campaign, healthcare personnel will once again be at the forefront. I therefore invite you all to get vaccinated as soon as possible. In the meantime, be vigilant and respect the barrier gestures. I thank you all.
Continuing his speech in the Somali language, the head of state said that today is a memorable day that has become part of the national history. It's a symbolic day because in another day it's like it. There is so much optimism in the air, so much pride, so much faces, thanks to you, thanks to all the professors of and also your ability to achieve the highest goals, and certainly a prize for those who believes that a better world is within our reach. It's also a testament to the fact that all of the opportunities of our young people can learn. Only one thing remains important, and that is to be generous, to be great, and that is the key to making the lives of others better. He added, you have to keep in mind the responsibility you have and the different tasks that await you, and your way should not be only for monetary purposes. However, your heart, your humanity should guide you in using your skills and talents in the services of others and in the wisdom of achieving effective results. You should bear in mind that you will henceforth be bound by an invisible pact with those you will take charge of. Do not break this pact, and we on our side will put all the necessary means at your disposal. You are the invincible standard bearers of such a noble profession and an example for the next promotions. May your expectations and hope carry excellence on your wings and touch lives far beyond our borders, the president concluded. After that, the President of the Republic distributed the certificate and the diploma bachelor degree to the different students who earned the highest of their diploma bachelor. After that, he decorated the directors of the National Institute of Science and many professionals who work hard inside the institute. The Minister of Finance in Ethiopia went today for a visit in the Demirjok port, who are under constructions, to make the tour inside the building. He was received by the President of Authority of Port and Free Zone, Mr. Abubakar Omar Hadi, when the Minister of Finance arrived there, and there have discussions, and he explained the role of the new port who are under constructions in Demirjok. Dear viewers, here are the end of the news today. Thank you for watching us. Have a great evening. Goodbye.